This review is presented by EVDANCE.
-5 degrees outside, full heat in the seat, full heat on the ventilation, windows up, which I don't really like because we're in the 911 Targa for GTS. Porsche kindly called me and asked if I wanted to use some of their cars in this Winter Wonderland that we have here in Sweden at the moment, and of course I want to do that. First, we were about to try out the new Macan GTS, but that hasn't popped up yet. So I just thought about it and thought, why not try an open car in the winter? And one car that really blew me away completely in these conditions last year was the new 992.2 Carrera GTS. But I just need to take these windows down because when you drive something that is meant to be open, to be free, well, you shouldn't have any protection. I mean, when you have a hat on or a cap or a beanie or whatever you want to call it, and a hot jacket, you got heat in the steering wheel, then this is just perfectly fine because, well, when you have the windows up, it becomes, you know, a very, very pleasant place to be in. But I want to keep them down. It's truly amazing because I've been driving a lot of great four-wheel driven sports cars in the winter. You have a car that is four-wheel driven, but the control in this one is phenomenal. It just feels like it's a four-wheel drive system that is calibrated better than any other. But it has a lot to do with the engine that is mounted at the back when you get all that, you know, weight on the rear wheels. And this new T-hybrid system, which is so immediate, you can't feel any turbo lag whatsoever. That just makes it perfect when you want to balance it. And this four-wheel driven Carreras are just magnificent. The thing about this one is also the T-hybrid system that is derived from the motorsport. It just gives so quick input when you push the throttle that it's crazy. It feels even quicker than a naturally aspirated car. And that makes such a difference when you drive in conditions like this. And also together with that new 3.6 liter instead of 3 liter. Because if you lose it a little, you can just throttle away a bit more and it just grips and it just slings out instead of giving you any turbo lag or lag at all when you really need it. So the balance in these conditions are just out of this world. This is such a great winter car. You can have so much fun in it, and by being a Porsche, you can just hammer it around without any worries at all. It's just so much fun. And the sound is just great as well. Great rumble, just the way you want it from that flat boxer 6-cylinder engine. So perfect in every corner, every time. But you need to learn how to drive it properly. You should never let off, you should always be on it a little every time. And that's what really rewards a driver that knows how to drive it properly. But it's got so much control. I have the systems completely off now, of course, because I want to have the full control of the car. Sport Plus, and of course it has the rear wheel steering, so it helps along even better. This is such a fantastic car. So we've been running through this car before. You can see the review on the channel, and I reviewed the coupe. But here we are with the Targa, and that is rather interesting. I love convertibles. They are just great. You know, all the elements, just let them sip in, put down all the windows, don't put up any wind reflectors or deflectors or anything like that. Just let it be open. But this one is a bit more complex and it has a bit of history to it. It came out 1967 as being a bit more safe. They wanted to make convertibles a bit more safe because A-pillars here, well, they just, you know, if you would roll over, they would just splash you to pieces. So you needed something back there, not roll cages or anything, or you know, these bars that stick up. So in the beginning you could take away that back window and then you can add it on if you would like to, but then it became just standard of how it looks now. 993, 996 and 997, they had this retractable window in the roof, so you couldn't really open it as we have it open right now, and that is a bit ridiculous, just like a big panoramic roof that you fold over. I don't like that. So this has just become a norm, a little bit of a trend for Porsche and some other cars, but I think it slowly died out. Convertible is a convertible, you know, we want the top to be retracted fully. We're offered with this one, and of course it becomes a lot more fun. You can hear the engine a lot more, but you don't hear it as well as you do with the fully soft top or the full convertible, because this one, it kills a lot of the sound from the engine. Sure, it doesn't get as much turbulence when you sit back there, but you can't be too tall either to sit there. But for the kids, a little better, and it's a little more, you know, weatherproof. But driving like this when the sun is up and getting some of the wind and some of the snow flakes just sipping in here makes it a rather special time. So I like it. It's a little heavier. It weighs 20 kilos more than the convertible. Nothing that you would really notice in a stiff car like this that is already very sporty in its setup. And about 100 kilos heavier than a regular coupe. 541 horsepower all in all. It does 0 to 100 in 3.1 seconds and 312 kilometers an hour in top speed. I mean, that's serious numbers. Now this car starts from 2.1 million Swedish crowns, about 200,000 euros. It's an expensive car, and I think that getting a Targa is more just for style. Knowing it's a Targa and the name Targa is something, well, it sounds rather cool, and that it is open, but yet not fully, you know, a convertible. So they just kept it, even though it is a bit more complex in the way it is set up. And it looks really cool when this mechanism just folds back, this big glass bubble or roof, and then this cloth with a lot of layers on it folds down, and then the glass bubble just puts back on. Looks rather majestic in some way. Nothing new regarding the functions or the looks. It feels just as usual in a very, very good way. That is, the screen and the infotainment system and the graphics are just good. It's not super quick in its processor. It has a slight delay to it, but looks good, and it's intuitive and easy to understand.
EVDANCE provides all types of chargers for your EV or plug-in hybrid car. Great portable chargers, powerful wall boxes, and accessories. EVDANCE, making EV charging seamless, efficient, and accessible for everyone. Buy your charger today and get 20% off with the code EVDSEW. Click the link below in the bio and get 20% discount. You can also find the products on Amazon store.
This is so easy. You can just read out the revs, the engine, and the steering position as always. You might think that, well, that just comes in when it is dry and you really need that Porsche precision when it comes to steering. But no, it's very, very important when you drive on slippery surface and conditions like this, because you need to put it exactly right and feel that that little millimeter of input can make the car slide, and then how it plays along with that direct throttle response. That just makes it a super precision tool, even in these winter conditions. It's phenomenal. And we have a bit more equipment on this one, and this has also got the Sonderwunsch treatment. That means that well, you can customize your car with colors, with interior colors, with panels, everything in the way that you want it. So your Porsche can look like no other in the world. But that also has a price to it, of course. You have the PTS color on this one, this blue, beautiful color. I just love it together with the big rims, the rims that has the center locking on them. And this almost checkered classic seats as well. Looks really, really elegant and exquisite. Like it. The seats are, as always, very good. You don't need the cup bucket seats or anything like that. In this one, you just want these comfy seats. They're sporty enough. The 8-speed PDK gearbox is, as usual, just there for you. Quick, and quick. That's what we like. But when you drive in normal, just puttering around, well, it shifts very smoothly. Let's do a little launch control. Well, there's so much power, it just wants the grip, but there's no grip today. But still, you can feel how the wheels and the torque distribution of it just works from one wheel to the other. So much balance, so much control, so much fun. And this is the thing that I just want to express about this car in these conditions, because I've done a full review on it, but I wanted to take this out again and just enjoy it and show you how much fun and control you can have in a Porsche during the winter. And that's what sets Porsche a bit apart, and people tend to do that with their Porsches as well, which is really cool, because there are many other sport car brands out there that, well, people are a bit, you know, no, not during the winter, I don't want to do that, you know, a lot of salt on the roads, and I want to keep it away from that. Of course, you should take care of your car, but you should also use it. That's what it's for. That's what you bought it for. And if it got the capabilities of a good four-wheel driven system, then this is the perfect way to use it. It's very difficult to find something about these cars that they don't set you on fire every time. It's like, okay, here we go. Here's a new day. So what do you want to do? Where do you want to set the bar? How should we drive today? Do you want to be a bit more aggressive, or do you want to take that corner like this or like that? Or should we just be drifting around like this in full control? It's like it talks to you in a way that you get so spoiled, and you understand why these cars are a bit more, you know, pricey, and why people buy them. Because you buy something that, you know, will work, the quality is just great, they're well built, they're very rigid, and you also buy an icon, as we've been talking about 100 times before. But it's a cool icon, and it's an icon that you always want to step in and drive more and more and more, because it is just so rewarding. And this adds up to the experience. You can't get away from the fact. And now when I've been driving it a bit, when it's like -5 degrees, now it's -4, but it's cold outside. And when the wind sips around it, of course you get a bit chilly, but having the heat on, heat in the seats, and this extra protection with this glass bubble on the back, it feels rather special. And it feels like if you're not, you know, in for that fully convertible touch, then this is a middle way, which is cool because it looks cool when you look at it, and you still get some of that air. And if you put these windows up, then well, it becomes almost dead silence. There is a little turbulence or noise or buffeting or something like that. Noticed that when I was driving on the motorway with them up. So better to have them down, of course. And as I said, it's rather pricey. This one with this Sonderwunsch touch and some equipment on it is over 2,500,000 Swedish crowns. So around 250,000 euros. Pricey car, but the GTS model, I think this one is faster almost on many tracks and many open roads than the GT3 RS. would like to try them out on a track to really see which one is the quickest, because this is very special with this setup. Is this a sensible choice, having the Targa instead of the normal Cabriolet? Well, maybe not, but you know, why do you need to be sensible? Go for what you want if you can. I think this is rather cool, but still, I would go for the convertible.